Yeah, so how can you best manage your cash flow? A good business always manages its cash flow because cash is king in a business. But particularly when times get tough, the way the money flows through the business clearly changes. Your income starts to disappear, and in some cases, some business owners have lost almost 100% of their income overnight. I'm recommending to my clients that they actually go through their bookkeeping, pull out a report that shows where they're spending money and what they're spending, have a look at sets of accounts, speak to their accountant, and actually go through line by line to say, right, what can be taken out without causing a problem in the business? What can be paused? And when we know what expenses are left, what has to be spent, you actually get a baseline number of how much it costs to run your business. So if you know how much it costs to run your business, then you can take measures accordingly to manage that cash when it needs to go out. By speaking to the people you owe money to, your creditors, and saying, look, you don't have the money, can you pay over a period of time, or are there arrangements you can go into? Everyone is in the same boat. So reaching out for help has to be the key at this point. So know your numbers, pause where you can, and really rationalize your expenses. Be careful not to go too far with culling costs. Typically, business coaches are one of the first people to go, consultants. The irony to that is, actually during a tough time, you need your business coach more to help you navigate through this process, equally with your accountant. So consider the costs, manage your cash flow by knowing what's coming in and knowing what needs to go out.
Over time, we accumulate a range of different applications, and this can become costly. Now is the time to consolidate, identify those systems that best suit your business strategy, and get rid of the rest. Zoho One is a great example of this. From just $55 a month per user, you can effectively run your entire business using just one platform.
Well, these dire times where people and businesses have definitely declined in their sales, and obviously operating costs may still be the same, this is your chance to really look at each of those costs and just determine whether or not you actually need some of those things that you are paying for. It could be a time to consolidate. So if you have, for example, MailChimp and other sorts of systems or ways of marketing to people, and you've got, say, 10 to 15 different subscriptions that you're paying for to help your business with this, look at consolidating it into one simple system or program. And there are a couple out there that can help you with this. The other thing is, make sure that you are not overspending or buying things for your business that are not necessary. Are you able to return any goods? That's probably another thing. If you are having issues with selling stock, is there some way you can return some goods? The other one is employees. Unfortunately, they are probably one of the most costly parts of any business. So you really need to determine, if you are going to be staying open, who are your key and vital employees that could do a multitude of jobs. So not just the one that they are employed for, but maybe they can do other work that other people had previously been doing in the past, but they can do it from now on.
Cash flow management is not my forte. However, I can suggest that this is a good time to examine our relationship to money and cash. For instance, one person may have the view that money is fixed, like a solid, and another person may view money as being fluid, like liquid. The person who views money as fixed may have a great deal of internal agitation. He or she would likely be anxious about running out of the fixed supply of money. Whereas the person who views money as fluid will be able to negotiate a period of low cash flow differently, having the knowledge that money flows in and out continuously and hence can be molded to suit their needs. Our internal mental representation of money forms the basis with how we deal with money issues in our lives and in our behavior. A beneficial representation of money is more useful and gives us more options than a model of money that has no flexibility in it. So developing and maintaining a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity is also key in ensuring that we get through a time of low cash flow skillfully.
So this is a really hard question, and managing cash flow is not only in these kind of trying economic conditions. And the tips that I can offer you on this is something that we're busy doing in our business at the moment. So what we're looking at cash flow lockup, we're looking at creditors, we're looking at overheads, and we're looking at finance. So first of all, lock up your cash flow. Some of the tips that we're doing to lock up our cash flow, we're billing more often. We're trying to stop bill surprises as well by offering fixed fees and also quotes before we actually do the business. We're encouraging upfront payments, so we're making definite payment arrangements that are confirmed in writing. We're trying to reduce the terms. So if you've got 30-day terms, reduce them to 14 days. One of the things that we're also trying to do is be more diligent in following up on our debtors. Call them, speak to them, negotiate with them. You'll be surprised at the response that you get from them. Now, one of the things that we often find sometimes, if you ever try to pay something and it's so hard, make it easy for them to pay you. Don't only rely on finance for survival. Be agile and diversify.
Obviously, all businesses have been affected by COVID-19 and everyone's noticing significant less cash flow within their business. Our business is quite lucky. We do have several e-commerce clients who are seeing COVID-19 as an opportunity, as so many people are at home, not allowed to leave, so they're ultimately shopping online. And in turn, we're receiving work for this. We see it as our obligation to keep spending money with our contractors and suppliers to support them during this time. But we're obviously aware that we might all be locked down for another 3-6 months. So we're being careful not to overexert ourselves during this time, but we do see it as our obligation to keep paying our contractors, keep paying our suppliers, keep paying our landlords as much as we can, so their businesses don't go under during this time.
How do I manage my cash flow? My suggestion is get your accounts up to date and keep them up to date. Because with up-to-date financial information, you can use these to make decisions about your business and your finances. What about your supply chain? Have you contacted your key suppliers and see if they are able to continue to supply the products that you need in order to produce your sales? What about your key customers? Are they still going to be buying from you? Are they still operational? Once you have this information, you can use this to do a new budget. It might be that there's an 80% decline in sales and you're not going to be able to fulfill any orders for 3 months. But at least then you have a budget with these new assumptions in them. From there, you can do your cash flow forecast. What about your creditors? Consider those and see if you can delay any payment terms. Check your supply contracts. Can you perhaps cancel an order if at all possible? Negotiate installment arrangements or plans with your creditors where possible. Why don't you look at your spending? Can you cut any unnecessary spending? So definitely consider what is critical to the longevity and sustainability of your business. Delay any capex. Look to reduce your staff costs, which I've mentioned already, and reduce your drawings from the business. If you carry stock, try to increase the sales. Perhaps offer a sale if you've got any old or obsolete stock that you could do a highly discounted sale to try and generate some cash. Increase any purchases of stock that you think are going to be a very high demand during the crisis. And then try and obviously promote the sale of any excess stock that you have as well.